In the previous video, we had seen how to install the necessary packages and how to load the libraries. We will do from the step 2 onwards. Now we will inspect and load the required dataset, that is iris. Here, step 2, load the required dataset and the libraries. So before using the dataset, let us just brief what we are going to do in this particular step. We use the built-in dataset. The name of the dataset is iris. So in the iris, we have each row is one flower sample that we can call as an observation. And there are total 150 observations. The column species, there's one column called as species, is a categorical variable with 3 groups. So the 3 groups are setosa, versicolor, and virginica. So there is one more numerical column, the column that is numerical. The column name is sepal dot, and one more column. Sepal width are numeric. Sepal width are numeric measurements. So basically in this step we are going to use the iris inbuilt dataset. So in this dataset we have each row is an observation. Each observation is with respect to one flower, and there are 150 flowers values are there, and there is one categorical column called as a species. This categorical column has 3 distinct values called as setosa, versicolor, and virginica. And there are 2 numerical columns of our interest. The first column is sepal length. The second column we are going to use is sepal width. Without much further ado, we will see the code block. So I have added the code block here with the shortcut. In case if you don't know the shortcut or how to add the code block using the shortcut, you can go to this menu, click on R. Wherever you want to add the code block, just keep the cursor there, come to this menu item, press on this particular R block, the code block gets added. So before going before using the iris, I would like to see from which package the iris dataset is coming from. So I can add a question mark in the console. Rather than writing in the code block, I can write in the console, and let me clear the console by pressing the Ctrl L. So here you can add question mark iris. Since this opens up the help page on the right hand side, and you can see the iris is iris dataset. It is coming from the package called as the dataset. By default, the R environment has this dataset package loaded. So I'll be making a copy of this iris dataset. Data is equal to iris, and I would like to see first 10 rows of iris, same as the way we had done in the previous experiment. I will type data, not data, head of iris. Head of iris. So here you can see when I write head of iris, when I press this particular button, you are able to see the output. We are able to see first 6 rows of iris dataset. So we have the species column, we have sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. All the columns are numerical except the last column. The last column is the categorical one. We will be using the last column, the categorical one, in order to visualize any particular column which is numerical. So species column is giving us the category information, and the numerical values to be plotted is coming from the first 4 columns. Any one of these first 4 columns we will choose to visualize the dot plot. So further we can explore this iris dataset. So in this iris dataset, I can even further explore in a sense. I can add tail of data, right? Data, tail of data. If I click this button, we can see the last 6 rows. Otherwise, you can add structure of iris, right? Not iris, data. Data is holding a copy of iris, right? So click this button, structure. That means this data frame has 150 rows and 5 variables. So what are the variable name and what is the variable type? So sepal length is a numerical, sepal width is a numerical, petal length is numerical, petal width is a numerical, and the last column species is a factor with the 3 levels. Because this factor with 3 levels species column is required as the categorical information for categorizing the flowers into different category, that will be very much helpful while doing the visualization. So further exploration also you can do with the help of the other set of functions. Summary of data will give you the quartile information of the data. If the data is numerical, it gives you the minimum, maximum, what is the first quartile, second quartile, mean and median. If the column is numerical, if the column is categorical, it gives you how many different values are there, each value how many times it is repeated. So the species is a column, it has 150 entries. So these 3 different values are repeating 50 times each, that is making 150 values for the species column. So here you can further also explore the data set. You can get names of data. It gives you the row name and the column names. And further, if you want to know the row name and the column name, you can do dim names of data, will give you both the row names and the column names. So the row names are numerical numbers, that is an integer, and the column names are given here. So further exploration also you can do. You can do dim of data should return you 150 rows and 5 columns. And further also you can do as row names of data, right? So it gives you the row names of data separately. If you want to visualize call names of data, will give you the column name separately as the call names of the data, right? So all these things are possible with the help of the exploratory analysis. In this particular case, I just wanted to show you by dissecting the data set. Further, we will also be individually accessing the different columns of this particular data set. So in order to access the different columns of this particular data set, what I can do is a data dollar. This is a subset operator, and the column name will print actually what is the data in this particular column. So this is not only way to access that particular column. You can either data of 1 will also give you the same data, but the same data gets returned as the data frame format. If I'm using the subset operator dollar, all the data is being given as the vector format. If I'm making data of 1, this is the first column, but the return type is the data frame. This is what the difference is. So a couple of other exploratory analysis on the data also we can do. We will incrementally see how to understand this particular data set to make a meaningful visualization. In the bottom line, we have 5 different columns. First 4 columns are numerical, the last column is categorical one. We will use the categorical column for visualizing the numerical values. The visualization we are doing is the scatter plot. Thank you. In the next part of video, we will actually start updating our dataset or start accessing the dataset for actually making the meaningful visualization.